empirical data searching the definitive answer on deterrence since the early 20th century. Most people don't agree that the death penalty should be put into place, but some do agree that it should be. Harsh punishment instead of the death penalty would serve as a deterrent for future crimes committed. With all the new technology and DNA testing, we can be certain that the correct criminal will be put to death instead of just some random guy. The cost of the execution process and appeals is far greater than life in prison, so it's a lot cheaper to be put to death than it is to be carried in jail the whole time. If you put a criminal to death, it will not undo the crimes they have committed, and the crimes will still stand. And if the person has to stay in jail the whole time, they'll have to think about it and it'll mess them up in their head. There's always the possibility that innocents could be convicted and put to death. Many of these people may also be mentally ill and just need to be put in a rehab. A 1995 survey of police chiefs and county sheriffs found that the most ranked the death penalty last in a list of 6 options that might deter violent crime. The 2 top picks were reducing drug abuse and fostering an economy that provides more jobs. Data on murder rates seem to discredit the deterrence theory as well. The region of the country with the greatest number of executions, which is the South, is the region with the largest murder rates. For 2007, the average murder rate in states with the death penalty was 5.5. The average murder rate of 14 states without the death penalty was 3.1. And that is my speech on the death penalty.